Hello, everybody, and welcome. We've got the second game of this great series from MLG Raleigh. Of course, we've got Reigns Kiwikaki spawning as the red Protoss. Cross position, Liquid Sheth spawning as the blue Zerg. I'm Tumba, co-casting with me for the event, Darkenedlight.
That's right, Tumba, and I'm really looking forward to this game. As I said in the last one, Kiwikaki, as his opponent, Sheth loves to say. Really love to see these two players duke it out. Sheth was able to take a quick win there in that last series, but I think Kiwikaki has what it takes to pull it back if he gets a good build going on this map here, the Shattered Temple, of course.
Absolutely, but I'd like to talk about something very important first of all, and that is, what exactly is George Lucas doing with these original Star Wars?
I don't know.
First of all, let's start off, we all know Han shot first.
Yeah.
That was the first mistake, was going ahead and switching that up. And then all of a sudden, we've got these other three, I guess you want to call movies, if you want to call them that, prequels, that things went from bad to worse. And now he's adding all kind of unnecessary dialogue between Vader and the Emperor at the end. Is this correct? Am I hearing this correct?
That is correct, Tumba. Completely ruining the tenseness of the scene, I would say. The how much it was a climactic moment when he doesn't say anything, has to choose whether or not he's going to kill his son. Just completely ruining. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, I mean, the head motion back and forth said it all. You don't have to add any kind of dialogue. Of course, the motion of the head,
especially
saying
awful dialogue. You don't have to add awful dialogue.
Yeah, and he just screams no. I mean, no, that's just ridiculous. No, I'm not going to buy it. How's that, Lucas?
There you go. No, I'm buying it. I know you love the word, so I'm just going to throw it right back at you.
There it is. Caught it, didn't like it, throwing it right back. So, yeah, a little disappointed in that, but Kiwikaki does not want to see Sheth expand.
I'm sure he doesn't want to see those things in the Star Wars movie either.
No, I'm pretty sure.
As you said.
I think any good fan of Star Wars would agree. Of course, when I get down on Star Wars, I just take out an old episode of Firefly and watch that, or the movie Serenity.
Works, yeah.
Equally as awesome. So, pylon down there, of course, the block does let it finish.
And in the meantime, it looks like you'll be opting for this Forge Fest expand build on this particular map. Don't see it too often on this map, but I like it. I think it's a good choice for him. He is quite good with those wall offs, and I think it'll work out in the long run. Did slow down that expansion down with that pylon block, and with the build that Sheth was opting for, it will slow it down quite a bit. I think he was going for a 14 pool into 16 hatch, and this is one good way to deter that for some time.
Absolutely. White Raw, big fan of Forge Fast expand on this particular map.
Quite the Protoss himself. I mean,
yeah, quite the Protoss. It's tough. It looks almost like the way that Kiwikaki's going to do this SimCity is he may actually use his Nexus to tank, and yes, he is.
Yeah, so I like the choice.
Yeah, it's just too much ground to cover going straight across. And but I think that Protoss should always Forge Fast expand in the current state of the game. You need the extra minerals. It's a little safer. It's a little greedy, but I think it pays off more often than not.
Yeah, I would agree with that for certain. Looks like he will deter these lings for the moment with the one cannon. May be able to pick off the second cannon before it can get finished. They are out of range of the first. Probably may force the cancel on that, so nice little harassment there by Sheth. Will be deterred, though, for the moment. And it looks like Kiwikaki does have to place that in a better position. He may even lose that pylon as well. So again, Sheth, great at peeking in, getting into corners, and doing a lot of early damage.
Yeah, getting those angles, man. Sheth knows this game inside and out, knows maps, knows position inside and out, and he sees little advantages. You may say, well, it's just a pylon, but anybody that plays the game knows. Yeah, absolutely huge in this level. And also, you know what? It's irritating, if nothing else.
Absolutely. I may even throw off Kiwikaki from his game mode, but I imagine he is a pro player, not going to be too affected by this, but it will slow down a bit of mining time, will slow him down on his timings of the supply for a little bit as well. And again, this is really big for Sheth, and I'm loving it so far, just staying really active with these links, forcing probe pulls every so often, may even get a kill. No, will be forced back by that cannon, and the Zealot is now out, so he should be able to deter that now. Going to lose that last ling. Once again, Kiwikaki is opting for this 2-gate style. I think it'll work out better for him on this map because it's obviously not so big, but he needs to make something happen with this and get an earlier Cyber Core, I would think.
Well, he knows his opponent too. A lot of people say, well, why did the player do this? And they forget that these players play each other on a regular basis. They understand the metagame of each other. So what you may look at as maybe a bad move or a big mistake, there's a reason behind it. There's always a reason behind that you can't fully appreciate. So there's things that Kiwikaki knows about Sheth that you don't know, and there's things about Sheth that, of course, vice versa, the other way that Sheth knows about Kiwikaki. So, you know, it looks like he does want to take this third quite early again. I don't know how I feel about that. I can tell you this, though. I love the fact that Sheth took his third at a location that's a little bit offbeat.
The reason he did that is he wanted to get it super quickly, and the reason you have to take that base is because obviously the rocks do block the natural third base location, and the gold is also blocked out by rocks. So he just wanted to get that as fast as possible when he saw that Forge Fast expand. And I think it's a good move. We'll have to see. It looks like Kiwikaki is not planning to punish that. Going to move out as he did in the last game with this small amount of zealots. And I mean, there's not that many lings on the field. He may be able to make something happen with these. We'll have to see.
Yeah, you know, it's great. You get the third down quicker. You can always rally reinforcements. It's not that much farther away from the center map of Maine, of Sheth's Maine, and
these lings,
there's no rocks to clear.
Only now catching those zealots moving in to intercept them. Speed is not anywhere close to down, about 20 seconds from completion. Here come all the zealots moving in, trying to make something happen. Going to be harassing the queens a bit. Here come the Zerglings as well. They're nice position with these zealots, but I mean, all those actually lings getting caught. Big mistake there by Sheth. He's repositioned, and now they're looking better. But again, good stutter step, if you can call it that, out of Kiwikaki, keeping good position with these zealots, but they may be cleaned up as they were in the last game, not doing as much damage as they were hoping to do. Really smart play by Sheth, getting 2 queens there as fast as possible, expecting that kind of engagement. And this is looking like a mirror of the last game. Now pushing out with all these lings, and I mean, this third base not too well defended. He may be able to do a bit of damage there before he is forced away. Yeah,
I think Kiwikaki could be in loads of trouble here. He's going to really have to have some great defense. I mean, force field's going down right now, and I think that's been part of the problem, is the lack of sentries. The force field allowing lings to get a full surround, but he seems to be willing to suicide those units initially, those zealots, and lings now going to the third. Cannons finishing, it seems like, right on time here, though, Darken.
Yeah, those lings not getting good surface area at all will be enough to clean up these lings. Nice little bit of harassment, though, by both players. They're just not doing the damage they were looking to do, and here comes the big gateway explosion out of Kiwikaki, throwing down a lot of those over in his main base. And again, this build, it didn't work out for him too well in the last game, and things are shaping up to be very similar to the first matchup. So I'd say the advantage right now would go to Sheth, just based on how they worked out last game.
The fact that it's a smaller map as well, I have to give all of the advantage to Sheth. I think Kiwikaki's really going to have to impress me here. He's going to have to come up with something.
Yeah, absolutely. 2. Actually, only 1 macro hatch going down at his natural, as we have seen in the previous game. And I mean, he's a big fan of that, getting the huge explosion of units coming up soon here. Looking at the harvester count, they are about even. So, I mean, things are about to get interesting pretty soon. We'll have to see if Kiwikaki can hold. I mean, he has less surface area he has to defend. There is that going for him, at least, unless Sheth decides to start harassing these rocks over at the natural third base location and trying to attack on multiple fronts. But I imagine he's just going to try to break through at this choke at the natural. And if Kiwikaki can get the good force fields off, get a nice amount of stalkers on the field with these additional gateways, he probably should be able to defend, I imagine.
Well, again, Kiwikaki researching Hallucination, which is a great spell. Again, I have to mention, underutilized, I think. It's a great way to metagame. Sometimes show a little misdirection, but...
Yeah, it works against Indra, to say the least.
Well, they worked extremely well. Of course, yeah, Huck hallucinating an entire army one time. That who could ever forget that? Oh, moments for Indra.
Indra always has something amusing that happens at each and every MLG. We can't rag on him too much for that. I mean, just kind of who he is. Looks like a few lings are looking to harass these rocks, so he is planning to attack from multiple fronts, but Kiwikaki smartly gets the spot off on that. With the pylon, will begin harassing those lings from the high ground. With those stalkers, no response really Sheth can do about that. Obviously, there are melee units, can't shoot back up at those stalkers, and will be forced away for the moment.
I'll tell you what concerns me, Darken, is the fact that +1 is just now finishing. And it's always a boon to Protoss to be able to go ahead and out-upgrade your opponent.
Yeah.
So, or at least try to keep it even. A lot of double forge builds popularized. And for the economy of Kiwikaki, I don't understand exactly where he's going with the timing. Because it's not like he couldn't support 6 gates off 2 base. And he's not exactly adding a ton of gates here. Almost like Cruncher style, if you will.
Yeah, it's Cruncher style, but off 3 base. He's planning on the explosion after he gets a much bigger economy going, and we'll have to see how this works out. Again, Sheth looking to do the 2-pronged attack, killing off the rockets there at the third base, and poking in with these roaches at the natural. Looks like most of the forces of Kiwikaki will move up to the third. No, will pull back to the natural, deter some of these roaches. Nice force fields, only catching a couple though. Actually, not the best force fields out of Kiwikaki. A lot of those roaches do escape, and here come the remainder of the forces from Kiwikaki, rather from Sheth, doing a ton of damage to that third base. Going to be forced back though by this multitude of cannons. I actually like the positioning for Kiwikaki right now. I like the fact that he made so many cannons, and that will help him defend these 2 spots compared to what happened in the last game.
Well, you know what? We agree 99% of the time, but it's hard for me to agree with you on this simply because Sheth is maxed out. Look at the slide differential. I don't know how he can feel like he's in a good spot. Boom! Down goes the Forge, and he loses the upgrade with that, of course. So, right now, I think that could be a bit of an issue for Kiwikaki. As we can see right now, Roaches moving into that third. Cannons
as well as the natural, yes, so much damage being done. Pretty decent force fields at the natural, going to segment off that force. But these roaches at the third base, as you said, are wrecking havoc. But I think these 2 cannons and these reinforcing stalkers should be enough to hold that off. In the meantime, the roaches are in the main wrecking havoc, and things are not looking good at all for Kiwikaki. He needs to get his force up that ramp and break in there and not let these roaches set up a concave over on that ramp. But I think he may just have enough immortals that can get them in a good position to break up here and deal with these. But a lot of damage being done, as you said. Looking at the harvester count, he is not doing too much probe damage. Nice control out of Kiwikaki, pulling those away to prevent any harm being done. And if these roaches are cleaned up, Kiwikaki can get in a good position. He probably should be in good shape to defend. I don't think this attack did go as well as Sheth was hoping it would.
Well, of course, bringing the probes over now, right over to those roaches, knows just when he's going to have enough DPS to mop those roaches up. And I got to say, this particular style scares me to death because we've seen the exact same thing twice. And it just seems like, you know, Zerg can pour on this pressure and keep the back foot darkened. I don't know.
It's going to be close. A lot more roaches are moving in to reinforce. He does have blink now, so he can jump between 2 bases a little bit easier. Probably will be able to deter this one roach force with the cannons, and the stalkers will do just that. A couple nice stutter steps by Sheth, going to force those away for the moment. And it looks like, though, the forces of Sheth will be forced away. Nice blinks, actually killing a lot of roaches, and possibly Kiwikaki looking to go on the offensive here.
Yeah, and he needs to be quite honest. I mean, that's what we were missing from the last game. The initiative has turned, the tables have turned. It is now time, I believe, for Kiwikaki to push hard.
Look at this. A lot of infestors on the field with Lings supporting, and that is a deadly combination, to say the least.
If
you can get a good fungals off.
So much trouble with this. The Ling buffer, of course, referred to by Tyler in State of the Game recently here. And here they go. You're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. Those Lings just kind of buffer for these infestors, keeping them safe and trying to get a surround on some of those expensive units, namely the Immortals. But great force fields here.
Yeah, really nice force fields. Going to deter a lot of those Lings, but some of these sentries may get cocked and turn around with the majority of these stalkers. Nice positioning, though. He's not as easy to fungal. Splitting up his units is something that a lot of Protoss do forget about. Going to be able to get a nice split, but a lot of good fungals are going down now with these best roaches being forced away. And I think this may be too much, but no, Kiwikaki not giving up, going to force this army back amazingly.
Well, there's the huge blink onto those infestors, and that's a boss blink forward right there, man. That's what you got to do. You got to get those expensive units. But man, Sheth just pouring it on here. It's pandemonium in the middle of the map. You can see supply 173 of 200, 133 of 182 for Kiwikaki, and they are going at it, man.
Yeah, it's crazy right now. No observer there, so he was able to burrow and get a nice return on the health of those roaches. Obviously, they do that regeneration underground in the meantime. Kiwikaki desperately trying to get Colossus out. That may be a game changer here, but as you said, more and more roaches reinforcing across the map, looking to make something happen. Possibly going to be posturing to move into this third base location. No, going to pull right on back for the moment, kill off a pylon at that gold location, and just continue to put on the pressure pretty soon here, I imagine.
I love Sheth's decision making. Sheth has played this right. Straight from minute one. He's done everything good, I feel. He's looking so solid. His gameplay so impressive. I gotta say, it had to be tough for FXO to lose him to Liquid.
Absolutely, I would not disagree with that at all. Looks like he is in pretty good shape here, but the Colossus have hit the field. If you can continue to chrono boost those out, that may be the game changer. Kiwikaki needs to pull back into this, but it looks like, once again, Sheth may be posturing for another attack.
This is a common problem we see with Protoss, not being able to ever get equal on supply. And here we go. There is going to be another engagement. Force field's going down. Sheth, so patient though, wants to make sure to engage on his terms.
Yeah, just keeping it nice and slow. Posturing, moving back and forth, looking a little bit of poking action. Looks like, though, Kiwikaki will blink forward, but caught by fungal growth, critically doing tons of damage to the stalkers right now. A lot of roaches on the field, but the second Colossus has hit the map, going to be doing tons of DPS to all these roaches right now, and that will be enough to force the army of Sheth back, and it may be the tide turning here. We're seeing Really, both these infestors do not have energy. He's lost a lot of roaches, but as you said, Zerg can resupply so quickly. He's up to 4 base now to the 3 of Kiwikaki, getting another max out almost immediately.
So it's been, you're going to go Ling, I'm going to go Zealot. I'm going to add roaches, well then I'm going to add stalkers. Okay, now we're going to go to Tech 3. We're going to go ahead, I'm going to add Infestor. I'll go ahead and follow up with Colossus. What a ping-pong match. This is great. We're seeing 2 phenomenal players here duking it out on this map. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, so back and forth, it's crazy.
I'm literally on the edge of my seat. It seems like Kiwikaki, moments away from being defeated, was able to ward off and fight just tooth and nail against Sheth. He wants this, man. He wants this victory. He knows he has to win this one. And,
absolutely, yeah, a lot of Tiger blood out of him, not giving up just yet. Going to have a few more Colossus hitting the field soon, but once again, Sheth moving across the map, trying to go for yet another push. Again, he can reinforce so quickly. This scary, scary force of Roach Infestor coming in again. Nice force field segmenting that army a little bit. A lot of Stalkers, though, blinking back smartly. Some nice fungals do go down, but I think once again, Kiwikaki will come out ahead. Again, such good force fields, following those Roaches into segments and forcing them to take a lot of DPS from these Colossus, losing so many right now, losing Infestors as well, trying to get a few Infested Terrans down, but he's going to snipe those Infestors off and clean this force up, and things are looking like they may be turning the tide here. Kiwikaki reinforcing with more Colossus, warping in more Stalkers and Zealot Sentries as well, and he may be pushing in for
I feel
the counterattack
I feel like he's got the money composition now. I
Yeah.
feel like the worst has been over. He's weathered the storm, right? Now I'm starting to see the genius of this build. Mind you, I won't be using it anytime soon because I don't have the
It's very difficult to
APM.
execute.
It is very difficult, but that's what's so brilliant. You put a build like this in the hands of Kiwikaki. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't custom craft this himself. And just
it's new to
stuff.
me, so I would not be surprised by that at all.
Yeah, amazing stuff out of him. And now that he's weathered the storm, I still, though, I feel like he needs to somehow get into Sheth's drones. He needs to get into his
I'd like
base.
to see a DT switch would be really smart.
Yes, DTs would be great.
Keep the grasp on Sheth. There's not much defense for DTs right now. Sport callers are at a lot of the bases. I mean, a lot of smart Zergs do that, but you can still keep map control, keep your opponent back as you macro up that scary death ball that is so often alluded to.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think that there's one key element missing right now from Kiwikaki, be it Templar or, as you said, DT. Something needs to be added, possibly. Look at, I want to notate something. Look at how he's got his entire army spread out along the cliff here.
Yeah,
he does
very
not
smart.
want to get us around. See, that's, you do
Also
that.
does not want to have to deal with heavy fungal play. Obviously, we're seeing so many infestors.
Exactly right. He's getting, and this is what it's coming down to. Of course, you always know, Darken, that Protoss is a very micro-intensive race, and this is part of that micro, is you have to have your units spread out.
Yeah, absolutely. You cannot ball up your units when dealing with infestors. They'll all die just so quickly, but it looks like Kiwikaki possibly going to posture for an attack, killing some of the creep off with that observer. Here comes the engagement, possibly a lot of vehicle fungals going down. Good force fields, forcing a lot of those roaches back. Colossus raining Hellfire down on all of these roaches, and looks like they may be forced back for the moment. Nice fungals do get off, though, and both this is such a back and forth engagement. It's so hard to call right now.
It is, and you know what? We've been saying what we'd like to see Kiwikaki do, and I want to see, and there it is! Neural Parasite takes the words out of my mouth, if you will, by action. That is so awesome. Chef going ahead and just neural parasiting all those Colossus. That's got to sting. And
yeah, but it's still pretty close to call right now. More Stalkers warping in. That one Colossus still neural parasited will be taken out. All these infestors low on energy, going to snipe off a lot of those before they drop some of those infested Terrans. Nice little move by Kiwikaki, and I mean, things are pretty even right now. Both coming on, trading armies there, and things are looking close. But he lost critically all those Colossus, and that was the big DPS unit of his force.
Not just the
but
big
look
DPS,
at this.
How expensive.
Look at this at the natural base of Kiwikaki. Mothership is about to hit the field. I like the tech switch by him, but again, a lot of forces coming out of Sheth, just constantly reinforcing, constantly flooding across the map, and it's going to be hard for Kiwikaki to reinforce and deal with this.
Well, I have to be honest with you, Darken. I didn't see Mothership coming. I did feel like he needed to add something, and of everything I mentioned, none of it pertained to a Stargate. So
Yeah.
that is amazing. I think it's a good solution to try to crack this nut that is Liquid Sheth. I was gonna say I'd love to see Sheth start neural parasiting, and boom, he did it
Yes,
right
so
away,
critical.
and that was so awesome to see, because obviously Colossus is pretty good against Stalker.
Pretty good, yeah. So critical move there, getting the neural parasites off on all those Colossus. Really need to get that going when dealing with this particular death ball. But as we were alluding to earlier, that Mothership has hit the field, and with that cloaking a lot of his units, if he can avoid neural parasites, he should be in pretty good shape, especially if he can snipe off the Overseer now flying over the army of Sheth.
Well, you need some answer to neural parasite. Either you have to feed back the Infestor, or cloaking, of course, could be a good option. Now, here we go. We are going to see posturing here. It is getting ready for that another climactic engagement, it seems. And, of course, Neural Parasite, though, or excuse me, Fungal, rather, has a range of 9, but a spread of 11, so just outranging feedback by a little bit. But here we go. We're going to see time for some action as these Colossus start to do work on these Stalker, or excuse me, rather, the Roaches.
Yeah, they're not Neural Parasite this time, Tumba. They will be able to do a lot of damage to those Roaches. Nice cloaking there. Again, with the Mothership preventing those from being Neural Parasited. And things are looking pretty good right now for Kiwikaki. Really smart tech switch by him. These Roaches are burrowed for the moment, just hiding there, waiting until he can swing the Observer back to deal with that. Actually, does he have an Observer on the field? No, he does not, so he needs to get that soon, because burrow play Roaches, very difficult to deal with if you cannot detect, obviously. A couple unburrows start harassing that gold base a bit. In the meantime, Sheth can reinforce with a lot more Infestors, a lot more Roaches, and things are looking really close right now. Nice tech switch to Templar, though, getting a lot of Archons on the field as he warps those in. And I think that might be the critical change he needs to force a another engagement and take the win, possibly. We'll have to see, though.
I'll tell you what, whoever loses this one, Darken's going to be heartbroken. This is going to be a heartbreaker.
It's such an epic game.
This is an epic game, for sure. I'm so excited. Thank you. I have to thank you so much to MLG for letting us cast these, man. This is unreal. So this Mothership now, hopefully, will be the tide turner for Kiwikaki. I don't want to sound too biased, but I have to pull for him here simply because I want to see an ace match.
Oh man, he's been the underdog in this whole game as well, constantly fighting it out, not giving up, and he's had the Tiger Blood throughout, and it looks like he may be able to make it happen here. It's going to be close. 8 Archons now in the field as he warps in 4 additional ones, looking to flash an engagement, catching all these off guard, killing a lot of those before they can get the fungals off. Here comes the Roaches, though, doing a lot of damage to these Stalkers. Nice Vortex, trapping a lot of the Roaches in there, actually moving all his Archons in as well, possibly looking to get a little bit of Archons for that action going, killing off the remainder of these Infestors, and as these pop out with those Archons, those Roaches are not going to be long for this world.
There's no better way to put it than that, and that was a beautiful move. Of course, the Archon Toilet, a bit nerfed, but still works, and here they come. They're going to pop out now, and invincibility has expired, so you're going to see now those Archons start to go to work. Blinking Stalkers in, and you're right, Darken, this is looking very good for Kiwikaki, and I love how
going on the offensive.
Yeah, going on the offensive. I love how he kept that Mothership laying behind, away from Neural Parasite. So now moving into, of course, some of the static defense here of Sheth. And Sheth playing this so awesome as well. Can't take anything away from him now. Answers, of course, with Corruptor, going to try to take out these Colossus once again.
Here comes the Mothership. Things are not looking good at all for Sheth. He's in between the production now. Kiwikaki is doing tons of damage. Such DPS coming out of these Colossus and these +3 Stalkers, doing so much damage right now, killing off all the Spine Crawlers, fighting into this location between all of the bases of Sheth. And without the ability to reinforce and ball up his units, this may be what Kiwikaki needs to take the win here and force this to an ace match.
Look at the minerals. Both players out of minerals, essentially. This is it. What you see is what you get, sort of thing. And, I have to say, Kiwikaki looks like he might be able to take this.
Yeah, he is doing so well right now. Only one Infestor on the map going to get sniped off. Overseer will fall as well in a moment. Looks like it will, and Sheth knows he cannot deal with it. He will be GGing out of this game, and amazingly, Kiwikaki will take the second game.
Oh my!
Some very impressive play.
God, Darken, what a match we just saw. You know what? I'm gonna have to rewatch this maybe a couple times. I got to be honest with you. You know, you and I have casted a lot. We've watched hours and hours of VODs. Of course, we stay up, watch GSL all the time. This was amazing. I have to mark this game down as one of my favorites. I got so emotional halfway through. I was thanking MLG and everything else. It was truly a pleasure to get to cast this game. Just watch this game, and I have to say, you know, as a caster, you want to stay non-biased, right? But as a fan, just of StarCraft, I love both players. I love Sheth. I love Kiwikaki, but to see Sheth play so perfectly initially and Kiwikaki just barely hang on and take that underdog spot, man, I love rooting for the underdog. So take nothing away from Sheth. Amazingness.
It's something that not only exists in StarCraft, but sports in general, not just esports even, just the underdog story, fighting it out when you think that he has no chance of coming out and pulling it out in the end. So really amazing out of Kiwikaki. Loved it, enjoyed it, not just for the emotional impact, but also the amazing play. And I was more than impressed by Kiwikaki so far, and I can't wait to see these two very evenly matched players duking it out in a third game in an ace match here to determine who will advance in pool play.
Well, I have to say, too, Darken, one last note. I feel like Sheth it's a tough loss. It's hard as a competitor. I think you need to regain composure a little bit. Okay, it's done. It's over. We're going into the third match. It's a new game.
Yeah, I mean, especially in these best of threes, I really feel like the person who, if you goes to a third match, the person who takes the second game has the momentum, obviously, because they took the most recent matchup. I mean, you feel good after you take that first one. You're like, I can lose a couple games. I can still fight it out if I lose the next game, but still, really, it's difficult to come back after taking a devastating loss like this.
Absolutely. Hey, great job to both players. Absolutely wonderful entertainment value. We hope you guys enjoyed it. And guess what? We've got one more game to go. So, Darken, let's get to it.
Let's do it.